Today I'm going to teach you how to use your Bookery Edges to get this sprayed edge effect at home, no paint necessary. Pick the book that you want to create an edge for and order your Bookery Edges from bookerybesties.com. When you get your Bookery Edge in the mail, don't be concerned if it's not quite the color that you had hoped for. As you can see, the final result will be different. You can order a Bookery kit for most of the additional supplies that you'll need, or you can buy them individually. You'll need a mini heat press, some sanding blocks starting at 180 grip up to 800. You'll want to buy some Bookery primer for a more crisp and vibrant end result, some heat resistant tape, and a dry brush. You'll also want a book press. This one is perfect for paperbacks, and a paper trimmer. Open up the book press and slide your book into it. Tighten it just enough to hold the book firm, but you can still move it a little bit. With your edge on a flat surface, press along the spine to get that edge as flat as possible. You don't want valleys or hills, or it will affect how easily the iron can press the image. Make sure that you push the book about 1 millimeter past the edge. This will give us space for sanding. Then tighten the rest of the way. Make sure this is really tight so you can push against it and the book won't move. Now, starting with a grit like 120 or 180, we're going to sand and sand and sand. You want to get all of the ridges out and you want this as flat as possible. Continue moving up in grit level until you get to about 800 to 1000, brushing away the excess dust in between. The smoother this is, the better you're going to be able to press your design into your book edge. I cannot stress enough how important sanding this as smooth as possible is. The better the book is prepared, the better the final result. This is not an area to skimp. Using Bookery primer is an optional step. As you can see, the end result will be a little bit more vibrant and with the details a little bit more clear. Give your primer a swirl to make sure that nothing has settled on the bottom. And then using the 1-inch foam brush included in your kit, brush a very thin layer of primer over the top edge of your book, making sure to cover it completely. Then I like to use a blow dryer. You can let this air dry, but it's much faster and very effective to use a blow dryer. And then repeat with another layer of primer, blow drying it completely. You want to make sure that when you touch it, there is no dampness left. Taking your Bookery edge, decide exactly where you want it to be on your book edge. Is there a specific aspect of the design that you want centered? Do you maybe want to angle it? Mark along where you want the width of your book to end up. Remember, the design itself will be mirrored on your book edge. Now, trim your Bookery edge according to the width of your book, leaving the length longer than the height of your book. This will be used to hold the edge in place. Check the spine so you know where the top and the bottom of your book are, so you make sure the Bookery edge goes on in the right direction. Now, this is why you want to leave your Bookery edge longer. You're going to fold down the excess and tape it into place with heat-resistant tape. You'll want to pull this nice and tight across the top of your edge and tape the other side in place. The reason that you want this nice and tight is that you don't want the paper to be able to move, or that could cause some smearing in your final design. You also don't want to tape across the top of the book. That will leave a dull stripe across the final effect. Now set your mini heat press to high or 385 degrees. Now with firm pressure, hold your heat press on your design for 45 seconds. Do not move or jiggle. If your design is black ink, only do it for 35 seconds. Lift your heat press straight up and press it back down, overlapping slightly each time until you've made your way across the design. Undo the tape from one side and peel it back, making sure to keep it attached on the other side. Notice anywhere where you might need a little bit more heat to complete your design, and tape it back down nice and tight. Go over those areas for about 15 seconds each. When you're happy with the result, go ahead and peel the paper off. Now, you don't want to take it out of the book press yet, but you also don't want it to be too tight. Go ahead and loosen those nuts until finger tightness and let the book cool completely. After about an hour, I pull it out of the book press. If you used primer, now's the satisfying cracking that you get to do. First, I give it a wave, and then I give it a fan. Place it on your shelf and enjoy. Don't forget to come back to bookerybesties.com for more Bookery Edges.